Good afternoon, everyone. In the last lecture of RF and microengineering, we have discussed about O-type tubes. In O-type tubes, we have studied about klystron, TWT, reflex klystron, which is the oscillator. What was the basic of O-type tube is that we have electric field, and the electric field is of the electron beam. It is in perpendicular, and there is no sort of magnetic field which we are using. As we have seen earlier that the classification of TPO type tube, which O means original type or ordinary type, and M means magnetron type. These are called as the cross field devices. So what are the cross field devices? Magnetrons are M type device, where M derived from the French term TPOM, which means tubes for propagation with perpendicular magnetic field. Tubes which are used for the propagation which have the perpendicular magnetic field, hence these are also called as cross field devices. Cross fields because there is an electric field, and perpendicular to this there is a magnetic field in the electron beam that will change the electron trajectory. So if we classify the M-type tubes, which we have discussed, the total devices of M-type, magnetron type, working on any of the principle with the resonant cavities or non-resonant cavities or Messer effect, they are divided in three categories. In reentrant cavities, the device name is magnetron. If the operation includes the forward wave and backward wave, working on the principle of forward wave, an amplifier is called as an FW CFA. These are also called as CFDs, which is nothing but crossed field devices. Working on as a oscillator called as a forward wave cross field oscillator. Please.
Thank you.
So in this tree diagram or classification tree of this M-type tube, we can see that M-type tube, it means the magnetron type tube, are the CFDs, cross field devices, where there is existing magnetic field which is perpendicular to the electric field. So how it differs? Actually what happened, how it was derived is, Hull, the name of scientist, Hull, this Hull has devised the first laboratory instrument working on the principle of magnetron. He has seen that by magnetic field we can change the trajectory of electrons. So this was utilized first time in 1921 by Hull, and later the same thing was implemented at the time of World War. There was the requirement of high power microwave, or we can say high microwave power. So the same device is implemented by the scientists Rendell and Booth for the first magnetron developed. Hence we can say the first magnetron developed practically or used in application was devised in 1940. And the mechanism was thought by the scientist Hull in 1921. The advantage of magnetron and types of magnetron we will discuss. Shall I remove this? The different type of magnetrons which are in use based on the principle types are cylindrical magnetron, coaxial magnetron, voltage tunable magnetron, inverted magnetron, forward wave cross field amplifier FWCFA, backward wave cross field amplifier. The trade name for this is Dematron, popular name for WCFA, and BWCFA is known as Amplicron. Called as carcinoma. So these are the various types of cross field devices, or we can say M type tubes or magnetron types generally in application. So let's talk about the basic principle or operation of a magnetron. It is a basic sketch for the cylindrical magnetron, which has the outer circle. It is showing the anode structure, and the inner is cathode. There is existing a voltage, DC voltage, similar to the anode cathode in a klystron. We have a potential with DC potential between the anode structure and cathode, and this will cause the electric field, radial electric field between anode and cathode. The structure is different, it is not linear, structure is cylindrical, unlike klystron. So, let's say the radius of this is A, and the radius of anode from the center is B. What actually happened in magnetron is, because of the electric field applied between cathode and anode structure, this is cylindrical cathode, the parts of cylindrical magnetron we can say, it has a cylindrical cylindrical cathode, has a multi-cavity anode. Space for interaction between anode and cathode. And then coupling, virtual coupling loop. Because of the electric field, it also have the perpendicular magnetic field. So there is a radial electric field between anode and cathode, and there is a perpendicular. If you see the structure, that time we will see perpendicular magnetic field is there. What will happen is, electron. If I say the electric field is the radial electric field is 0, the electrons will not be emitted from the cathode, and the velocity of electron at cathode will be 0. They will not travel any distance. They are not emitted. If we say a certain electric field is applied, at the same time magnetic field is also, the axial magnetic field is also 0. So if we say the electric field and magnetic field in a magnetron is 0, then there is no electron emitted. The velocity of electron at this point is 0. If we say certain electric field is applied between anode and cathode, but the perpendicular magnetic field is 0, what will happen? The electrons, because of the potential between, or we can say the field between anode and cathode, they will be emitted and it will move towards anode. This is the anode structure, and in between them there is an interaction space, and it will take a path that is say x. It means it will have a straight line. The electrons emitted from cathode will be reached to anode because of electric field only. If electric field is there, at the same time a magnetic field is also there. It is non-zero value. What will happen? Because of the perpendicular magnetic field, the electrons emitted, this is the second case. Third case, if radial electric field is non-zero and magnetic field is also non-zero, the electron emitted from this will face a force, and that force will be equal to EVB. V is the velocity, which is velocity of electron is because of electric field. So because of electric field, what is the velocity of electron emitted from cathode? So that velocity, अगर हम इसमें if we apply the more amount of electric field, the velocity will be higher, and if the velocity increases, the force exerted by the electron will be more at some p. You can see from this relation, you can see the velocity is received because of the radial electric field, which is non-zero. At the same time, the perpendicular magnetic field is there, so a force will be exerted on electron, and hence the path or trajectory of electron will be bent. It will reach to the cathode, but the path of electron will be bent. Let's say y. Can we see that the same radial electric field is applied, but the magnetic field is of certain value, which causes the electron to emit, just graze the structure and return back to cathode? It is possible. A certain magnetic field can be applied, amount of magnetic field, this is a non-zero value only, but I am telling now this P5, or we can say the magnetic field, actual magnetic field which is perpendicular to the electric field, it can be of certain value which will bend the trajectory of electron path and the electron will return back to the cathode itself. Is it possible? That value of P is called as BC, which is cutoff magnetic field intensity, also named as a Hall cutoff magnetic field intensity or density. Here in this sketch I have explained the electron trajectory. We have seen in O-type tubes in klystron there was no effect of magnetic field. Only the difference in the M-type devices that the electron which are travelling from cathode to anode in a klystron, it is not affected by any sort of magnetic field. But in M-type device, the electron which are emitted by cathode to anode, their path is changed or bent by application of certain magnetic field. Hence these are called as a cross field device. How it is useful now, that we will see now. Is it clear? Fine. The electron trajectory which has the effect of electric field, the electron trajectory which has the effect of electric field and magnetic field both. Electron trajectory at a critical value of magnetic field, which is Hall cutoff magnetic field, how it will change. The path will be X, Y or Z. Fine? Structure of a cylindrical magnetron. In a structure of a magnetron, this is a basic structure of conventional magnetron. It may have the anode is a multi-cavity, it means it is a resonant structure, reentrant structure. This structure may be of any type. Here we have shown the main type of structure. It may also take a form of anode structured in a form of coaxial group. Coaxial structure may be like this. Inside is the cathode. It may take this called a coaxial type of coaxial structure. It may be a well type of structure which is similar to this. It may be. Shall I remove this?
No, sir.
A well type of coaxial cavity, it may have different structure, different shapes. And these are nothing but, these are the resonant cavities. As we have seen in the TWT, different slow wave structures are there. Similarly, the multi-cavity crystron, or we can say, magnetron. A magnetron may be a multi-cavity, any sort of structure. It may be a coaxial, or it may be a well type structure, it may be a strap structure, it may be a zigzag pattern, and any sort of structure. Shall I remove? Electron trajectory and mechanism in a magnetron. What we have seen in the earlier electron trajectory, that the electron path will be changed because of the axial magnetic field and radial electric field. Because of the application of radial electric field, it will take a path which we have seen earlier as a X. It means the electrons which are emerged from the cathode, they will reach to anode and will take a path X. If there is no magnetic field, they will take a path by application of certain magnetic field, that the electron will return back to cathode without reaching to anode. And anode, earlier case what we have seen, we have considered the structure was complete circular. But actually, the anode structure, it has certain gaps. This is because of cavity. Anode is a multi-cavity structure. So in this cavity there is a gap, and it is connected with the DC voltage supply. So fringing electric field will be existing in all the cavities. This fringing RF field, we can say this is the influence of RF field, fringing RF field on electron we are going to observe now. We already know that electric field is applied, no magnetic field is applied, it will take a path x, directly it will reach in a straight line. If the magnetic field is applied of higher amount, then we can say it will apply a force over this. That force is depending on the E, depending on the flux density, it is depending on the electron charge, it is also depending on the velocity. If field is increased, electric field is increased, this velocity is going to increase. And if the velocity increases, the force which is electron is facing because of the magnetic field is going to increase, because it is not non-zero. So this force is going to increase, hence we can say it will bend more. It will take a path, it may take a path like this, or it may take a path like this. Let's say R, S. What is the difference between these two paths? Because as the radial field is increased, electric field is increased, the velocity increased, and as a result of velocity, the velocity will itself will cause a force. It is a force because of magnetic field, a force will be exerted on electron because of electric field, and there will be a centrifugal force which will not allow the electron to fall in the free space, which will balance them. So there are three types of forces will be acting on the electron which is emerged from cathode. One is force because of electric field, another one is force because of magnetic field, and third is force which is centrifugal force, mv square by r. Right? I was talking about that we are now knowing the electron trajectory. It means electron path. So we know that electron path is decided by the electric field value. It means कितना हमने V naught apply किया है, and how much is the amount of B. It means magnetic flux density. Magnetic field how much we have applied. There is existing a fringing field in all the cavities, and this how many cavities are there? Suppose we have an 8 cavity magnetron, and each cavity is having certain resonant frequency, because cavities are what? They have the resonant frequency. Cavity resonator we have already studied before starting klystron. Cavity resonator is a structure, because of if we change the structure, the resonant frequency will change.